Good morning, everyone. We want to welcome you all to Reading 365 this beautiful Monday morning, October 9th. We are joined by two powerful women who could have easily, either one of them, been vice president or president of the United States. Easily, either one. You take your pick. They are Mary Kratzer and Joyce Davis. They both have two wonderful books to share with you. Mary is going to go first. Mary has been a part of the community, volunteering on many boards, AAUW, Keystone, and but she's a former teacher over at St. Stephen's, teaching Spanish. She's edited my books and done so many things for the American Literacy Corporation. So we want to thank you, Mary, for that.
You are welcome.
And the Joyce Davis. I'm building this. I'm building it. I'm telling you. Joyce was a foreign correspondent for NPR, many other publications. She, worked for the mayor's office. She currently is an editor at Penn Live, and she's done so many other things. She's just a wonderful community on the board of. We serve together on the board of State Street Academy. Yep. Do a great job tag teaming there, and I really appreciate her. And she's Cole's mom.
A real claim to fame, yeah.
Exactly. Cole's mom. No, but we're excited. We're gonna get to the books here. So we're gonna mute our video here and let Mary share her book that she's gonna be sharing this morning. Mary, thank you so much for joining us.
You are welcome. As Floyd mentioned, I taught Spanish at St. Stephen's for many years, and I just absolutely love being Senora. And Spanish begins at age 3 at St. Stephen's. So the book I have to share with you is called Say Hola to Spanish by Susan Middleton Alea and illustrated by Loretta Lopez. Spanish is fun, so give it a try. Hola is hello. Adios is goodbye. A dog is un perro. A cat is un gato. You drink from a vaso and eat from un plato. A son is un hijo. A mother is madre. Daughter is hija, and father is padre. You play in un parque. You live in una casa. Mom drinks her coffee, café, from a taza. Your hair is tu pelo. Your nose is nariz. Your grandmother's pelo is probably gris. You sit on una silla. You eat at una mesa. A perfect surprise is called una sorpresa. You bite with dientes. Don't bite la dentista. Just wait for your checkup and read una revista. Your eyes are tus ojos. Your hands are tus manos. Both ojos and manos help play el piano. You study en una escuela and dance at una fiesta. Your afternoon nap is called una siesta. A boy is un niño. A girl is una niña. He eats una pera. She eats una piña. Besos are kisses. Smiles are sonrisas. Blusas are blouses. And shirts are camisas. Your dad drives un carro. Same thing as un coche. He drives in el día and drives in la noche. A vaca says moo. A bull is un toro. Caballo is horse. And parrot is loro. Bread is called pan. And cheeses are quesos. That's what we eat, but perros eat huesos. A tree is un árbol. A flower is un flor. Cierra la puerta means shut the door. Ham is jamón and soup is called sopa. You wash with jabón and get dressed in la ropa. Wish at a fountain, throw coins in la fuente. Deseos come true, it's no accidente. A man who makes shoes is un zapatero. Zapatos or shoes and lots of dinero, cost lots of dinero. A hat on your head is called un sombrero. A cowboy on horseback is called un vaquero. Caliente is hot. Cold is called frío. You fish at un lago and raft down un río. A secret you'll tell an amigo or friend. Amigos keep secrets up till the end. In Spanish and English, a burrito's un burrito. A piñata's a piñata. And a mosquito's a mosquito. Hola is hello, adios is goodbye. Spanish is fun, so give it a try. El fin.
Awesome, Mary. Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that with us.
De nada.
Okay. And we'll talk about the book and the Spanish language there when we come back, okay? Next, we're going to hear a story from Joyce. And Joyce, what do you have for us today?
Well, considering we're in this historic presidential election season, and
Yes.
we now have a new president, I thought we'd take a glimpse at what Washington, D.C. is like. And I have my senator and me, a dog's eye view of Washington, D.C.
Beautiful. Thank you.
So sit back and relax. We're going to take a trip. If you want to serve your country, Washington, D.C. is a good place to be. Washington is the capital of the United States. The president lives there. The Supreme Court works there. Congress, made up of House of Representatives and the Senate, meets there. And they all try to make our country a better, fairer, safer place for people and animals. I know a lot about the Senate because I work there too, always at the side of my senator. His name is Edward M. Kennedy. My name is Splash. Let me explain. The only way to become a senator is to be elected by the people of your home state. My senator's home is Massachusetts. It's where he grew up and went to school. It's where he likes to go sailing and spend time with his family. The wonderful people of Massachusetts have elected and re-elected him to Senate for more years than I can even count. If you are a senator, you have lots of responsibility. You probably know hundreds of people, thousands, maybe tens of thousands. But are these people your true and loyal friends? There's an old saying, if you want a friend in Washington, get a dog. A few years ago, my senator decided to do just that. My senator and his wife wanted to find a special dog to become part of their family. So they drove to a farm in Virginia where a family raised Portuguese water dogs. Portuguese water dogs are strong and smart. They are excellent swimmers, and for centuries, they helped fishermen on their boats. They are very loyal dogs, and they have a lot of love to give. The senator and his wife saw many dogs on the farm. Each one had a different personality. One was rowdy, one played in the mud, one liked to sunbathe, and one sat all alone. And one dog stood out from all the others. He was a leader. He walked with confidence and looked after the other dogs. He was very well behaved, but he also knew how to have fun. His name was Champion Amigo Seventh Wave, but because he loved the water, everyone called him Splash. And that dog was me. I walked right up to the senator and nuzzled his leg. It was love at first sight for me and for him too. He rubbed me behind the ears and admired my curly black coat. Feels as soft as a lamb, he said. We went over to a stretch of grass and played fetch. Splash runs like a champ and never gives up, my senator remarked. I think I found the right dog. On the drive back to Washington, I sat in the back seat. I couldn't wait to see my new home. Look at that, Splash. My new family talked to me the whole way. They pointed out the White House, where the president lives, the Kennedy Center, where people go to hear music, see plays, and watch the ballet. It was named for my senator's brother, John F. Kennedy, who was the 35th president of the United States and a great supporter of the arts. The Lincoln Memorial, where millions of people from all over the world go to remember Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president who led our country during the Civil War. The Washington Monument, built to honor George Washington, the first president of the United States. And finally, the Capitol, where Congress meets to decide what's best for the country. That's where I work, Splash, my senator said. Pretty soon, you'll be going there too. It took me a while to get used to all of the traffic and the people in Washington, D.C. But now I know the city like the back of my paw. A little while ago, we added another Portuguese water dog to our family. Her name is Sunny, and she's a lot younger than I am. I'm teaching her everything she needs to know about Washington. Every morning at 6:50 a.m., I am the first one up in the house. I shake my body, and the tags on my collar jingle, waking the whole family. After breakfast, it's time to leave for the office. My senator and I work at the Russell Senate Office Building, just across the street from the Capitol. To get to the building, everyone has to walk through the metal detector, even me. When the Capitol policeman sees me, he grins. "Hi, Splash," he says. I wag my tail to say hi back. I love all the attention I get in Washington, but I try not to let that slow me down. My senator and I have too much to do in a day. "Let's go to work, Splashy," the senator says. At 8:45 sharp, we arrive at the office. Soon the senator's staff comes in for the morning meeting. Today they are discussing an education bill. That is an idea for a new law that will help students and their teachers. The Senate has voted to approve our education bill, one staff member says. One bill will make schools safer, let them hire more teachers, and even put a computer in every classroom. But the House of Representatives passed a different education bill, says another staff member. This is a problem. Well, there's no time to lose, says the senator. We need to meet with members of the House immediately and work out all the differences between the two bills. The school children are counting on us. Suddenly, the senator's assistant reminds him that he has a press conference in the Capitol at 10 a.m. A press conference in the Capitol means only one thing to me: a ride on the train. "Let's get moving, Splash," my senator says in his booming voice. The tram is an underground train that takes us from the Senate office building to the Capitol. I love every second of the ride. Lurch of the car, the sound of the wheels on the tracks, the whoosh of the air through my fur. My senator even slips me a liver-flavored treat, my favorite. I am the happiest dog in the world. In less than a minute, the tram arrives at the Capitol. We go to the press conference on the steps of the Capitol. We must pass this bill so the children of our country can get the education they deserve, my senator says. The crowd nods in agreement, and I sit there very quietly, looking around to make sure that everything goes well. I know that if I whimper or get up and walk around, someone will whisk me away from my senator, and I won't be invited to any more press conferences. When the press conference ends, the crowd gathers around my senator. Some people reach down to pet me. After all that hard work, it's time for a little break. The senator grins at me. "Ready to play fetch, boy?" I am off and running. Almost before the words are out of his mouth, he throws a tennis ball high in the air and I run to bring it back. I drop the ball at his feet and beg for more. Woof, woof. And he throws the ball again and again. Members of Congress on their way to meetings stop to watch us play. Visitors on their way to libraries and museums watch. Police officers, gardeners, and construction workers taking a break watch us have fun. "Go get him, Splash," someone shouts. "Look how high he jumps," I hear a child say. We return to the office where I drink a big bowl of fresh water, then stretch out on the floor. All of this exercise makes a dog thirsty and tired. My senator eats lunch at his desk and prepares for the busy afternoon ahead. I do not disturb him. At 2 p.m., we head back to the Capitol for a conference meeting. On the way, we see a group of students touring the Capitol with their teacher. I wag my tail and bound over to say hello. Everybody tries to pet me at once, but I don't mind. The senator shakes everyone's hand and laughs a lot. The children are from Massachusetts, our home state. Before they leave, we all pose for a group picture. My senator and I then walked through the Capitol Rotunda, a beautiful place in the center of the building. The Rotunda is one of my favorite rooms in the Capitol. When we arrive at the conference committee session, I make myself comfortable on the floor. I know a meeting like this could go on for hours. At a conference committee meeting, senators and members of the House of Representatives, they try to work out the differences between the House and the Senate versions of a bill. Today, they're discussing the senators' education bill. Since the bill would improve schools all across the country, I think they should reach a decision quickly and easily. But everyone seems to have their own idea and opinion of the right way to make our schools better. And I wonder whether they'll ever be able to agree. I listened very carefully to both sides of the debate.
With all due respect, Senator, we cannot afford this bill.
I appreciate your concern, Congressman, but we cannot afford not to have this bill. Senator, our children are our greatest resource. Therefore, we need our version of the bill. Congresswomen, our children are our greatest resource. Therefore, we need our version of the bill. On and on it goes, with one person saying one thing and another saying the opposite. They seem to be getting more and more upset, and their voices are getting louder and louder and louder. It's time to do something. Woof, woof. Then suddenly they stop shouting. The room is completely quiet, and everyone starts to laugh, and everyone understand what I was getting at. Working together, cooperating with each other, they finally work out a bill they can agree on. My senator leans over and rubs me behind the ears. Good boy, he says. Now the revised bill will be voted on by the senators and the members of the House of Representatives. And if they agree to pass it, the President of the United States will sign the bill, and we will have a new law to improve our schools. What could be more important than that? At 4:30, the senator and I walk over to the Senate reception room. My senator is going to cast his vote in the Senate chamber, but I have to stay behind. I know the rules. No dogs allowed in the Senate floor, but I don't like it. I've seen plenty of senators and they don't behave any better than I do. Voting usually takes the senators about 15 minutes. 15 minutes can feel like a very, very long time. All of a sudden, I hear a familiar voice and look up at a television set. My senator is speaking. I can't stop my tail from wagging, and I don't want to. It's wagging, wagging, wagging as my senator speaks and then casts his vote. The bill passes with 95 senators, including mine, voting yes, and only 5 voting no. If I'd been allowed to vote, I would have voted yes. Now thousands of schools will be able to give children a better education, and my senator and I helped to make it happen. At 6:45, we finally leave the office. We stop on the way home for a game of fetch. Back at home, our family is waiting for us. We eat a delicious dinner. Sonny and I have dog biscuits for dessert. Then Sonny and I chase each other and play with our toys while the senator prepares for the busy day that we're going to have again tomorrow. It's getting late now. Better get a good night's sleep. Tomorrow's another big day in Washington. And that is the story of a dog's eye view of Washington, D.C.
Fantastic. That if I had resources like that when I was going to school, I think I'd learn a little bit, I would have learned a little bit more about our government and how it works, right?
All would have. And they should know that this was a senator who was very famous. He's now dead now, but he had two other important brothers, a president and the attorney general was his brother, Robert Kennedy.
Yes. I met Ted Kennedy when, working for the first Obama campaign. And of course, he passed away within a year of Barack Obama being elected. So just a powerful giant in politics.
Very
just
true.
Wonderful. Yeah, fantastic. And Mary, you can unmute your mic there. And so, Joyce, we have these three branches of government, right? The legislative, the judicial and executive. Can you sum up for the audience, just very briefly, the importance of the Senate and what they do, some of the important things that they do?
Well, the Senate and the House of Representatives also, when we think about laws, when we think about, what we consider to be the fundamentals of our government, it is these lawmakers that are responsible for that. And each state has two senators, each state. And when you go to the polls, you vote. You not only vote for president, but you have to vote for these lawmakers as the people who will think up the laws, figure out what needs to be done. And the bill that they were talking about in here was very important because it was going to put computers in schools, give people the money to be able to do that. What if that bill hadn't passed? What if they had still been debating and arguing and we still wouldn't have what we need in the schools? So what they do is very, very, very important.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. That's a good summary. And Marion, I think both of you, we're very fortunate today to have two women who have world views of the world. And so coming from that vantage point, Mary, you fight for people with disabilities, you support, Black Lives Matters, you know Spanish enough to teach it. Okay, it's one thing to speak it. What is the thing that you can attribute to your childhood, maybe your upbringing, that gives you that kind of foundation?
Although I grew up in a community that was not diverse at all, and really when I went to college, it wasn't a very diverse community there either. I attribute it to when I was I'll make this story short, but I was going to pick up books at St. Stephen's Episcopal School for AAUW. And I had the occasion to meet Mrs. Patricia Cameron. She truly changed my life. She is still my mentor. And I thought, I think I'd like to go back to teaching. And I went back to teaching at St. Stephen's Episcopal School, which is a wonderfully diverse community. One day, Mrs. Cameron came in and said, I think we ought to switch to Spanish. Would you like to develop a Spanish program? And I did. I feel so strongly about children learning other languages. I like Spanish, but I don't care whether it's French, German, Swahili, it doesn't matter to me. Learning other languages is a window on the world, and it's a door for you to enter into other parts of the world. And learning to speak another language when you are very young is so important. And at St. Stephen's, we began with 3-year-olds so that they could learn to roll their R's when they said perro.
Which is very difficult for me to do.
But not for 3-year-olds.
I have to say, I thoroughly applaud Mary. I think that's one of the failings of our country, that we don't emphasize the importance of learning languages. And I will tell you, you're right. The earlier, the better. I've lived overseas several times, and in places like Greece and all, those children start learning English from the time they're crawling. I had a class, I remember, of about 6 4-year-olds that I personally was tutoring in English. They just take it much more seriously, and so I applaud that. And frankly, I will also say it really is never too late. But
oh yes, it is. I can prove that. I can prove that, Joyce. I can prove that. No, Joyce. So kind of piggybacking off of Mary and the learning of the languages. You have visited a lot of countries.
yeah,
I've visited some, not even close to as many as you have, but we've seen some pretty cool places, right? And the
yeah.
saying goes, the United States is the greatest country on earth. And I say, there's no way to say that if you haven't really traveled, and so it's a great country, don't get me wrong, but there are some really, really cool places out there, right? Can you talk about, Joyce, some places that you would say, rival, the United States and what they're doing?
Well, to be honest, I have lived now, I've lived in Greece, Athens, Greece for about 2 years. I lived in Paris for about a year and a half. I lived in Prague for 4 years. And of course, I've traveled and spent months at a time in the Middle East and that kind of thing. Look, let's be honest, the theory of the United States being this place where so many different cultures came and brought their best, their worst, but also their best, allowed us to, this is why we say diversity is such a gift. Because when you and Mary and I sit at a table, Floyd, you're going to bring your strengths. And Mary's going to bring hers, and I'm going to bring mine. But imagine if it was all just me at the table, all just you. So that's the beauty of the United States. It has picked and it has learned and grown from so many different cultures, and the attitude that each individual is important is a profoundly new thing on earth. That being said, look, I have lived in so many beautiful, France is just an incredibly beautiful country. It has gifts that we can't even imagine, including in food. but we benefit from the French people who come here. And so again, each country has its greatness about it. Each country has helped, frankly, to build this country, because we've taken the best of so many different civilizations. So, but I've enjoyed living in so many places. It's a blessing.
Yes. Well, fantastic. Well, we definitely appreciate both of you all sharing with us. If there's anything else that you all have to add, you're more than welcome. But we really appreciate both of you all this morning.
Mary, are you still offering Spanish lessons?
Sí.
No, let me get the translation. No, let me get the translator out and translate C. No, just kidding.
Great. For los niños and adults as well as children, right?
Sí. Es muy importante.
Muy importante. Por todos, sí.
Sí.
Well, adios, everyone.
Adios.
All right.
Have a fantastic day. We thank you all for joining us on Reading 365. Mary, Joyce, thank you all so much for sharing your gifts this morning. And everybody, we want you all to have a great day. And we tune in every single day at 11 o'clock until September 30th, 2021. We'll be here sharing stories. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.
Kudos to you, Floyd. Wonderful job. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.